I used to think that there was something wrong with me, that I was just too complicated for this world, for the people around me, until one day I realized maybe I was just surrounded by the wrong people. Growing up, I felt this constant tension, like I was living between two worlds. There was the daughter my family needed me to be, the woman society and culture expected me to become. And then there was this quiet voice inside that kept whispering, "But what do you want?" And that voice knew. It knew what I wanted. For the longest time, I thought that voice was selfish. I thought wanting something different meant I was odd. I thought questioning the path laid out for me would mean upsetting a lot of people. I spent my early 20s performing. Performing in the sense that I was doing everything that I should as the good daughter, but not really following my heart and my truth. But from the outside, it looked perfect. I was checking all the boxes, meeting all the expectations. But inside, I felt like I was disappearing. Like I was becoming really good at being someone I didn't even recognize anymore. And the hardest part, I didn't have anyone to talk about it. Because when you're surrounded by people who love the version of you that you've been performing, how do you tell them that it's not really you? How do you say, I need to figure out who I actually am without it sounding like a rejection of them? That fear of disappointing family, culture, and society really held me back for so long. I felt so alone in that question, so alone in that tension between honoring where I came from and certain aspects of my religion and culture that I loved, but also honoring where my heart was calling me to go. The shift started small, little moments where I chose what felt true over what looked right, saying no to things that didn't align, speaking up when I used to stay quiet, and admitting I didn't want what everyone assumed I wanted. And you know what I discovered? That quiet voice inside wasn't trying to take me away from love and make my life complicated like I thought it would. That voice was trying to take me towards true love and fulfillment within myself, towards a life that actually fit who I was becoming. And here's what I also discovered. I wasn't the only one feeling this way. The more honest I became about my own journey, the more I crossed paths with women who shared their stories with me. Women who also felt caught between cultures. Women who felt pressure to be perfect. Women who were exhausted from performing themselves into approval. And I realized we need each other. But here's what I started noticing. It's really hard to maintain deep friendships when you're on different paths of growth. When you're questioning everything and your friends are content following the expected path. When you're exploring who you really are and they're comfortable staying who they've always been. When you want to talk about authenticity and they want to talk about surface things, the friendship starts to feel really lonely. And the other person is choosing to stay within the safe lines of cultural and societal expectations, you end up in two different worlds. And friendship across those worlds, it's hard. Even now, as seasons of life change, I realized I was craving friendships with women who were also asking the big questions, who were also willing to disappoint some people to honor themselves, who were also navigating that tension between loving their heritage and following their own path. We need friendships where growth is celebrated and not seen as a threat, where evolution is supported, not questioned, where your becoming doesn't make others uncomfortable because they're on their own becoming journey too. That's what led to the Wellness Quest. Not another wellness program or another place to fix yourself, but as a sisterhood, a space for curious souls, seekers who are ready to explore who they really are beneath all the expectations. And you know what? This isn't just an idea, it's backed by centuries of wisdom and modern research. Throughout history, women's circles have actually been sacred spaces of healing. From grandmother councils to the quilting circles of our great-grandmothers, women gathering to support each other has been the foundation of resilient communities. Research shows that when women have authentic female support, our stress hormones decrease, our immune systems strengthen, and our capacity for growth expands. There's actual science behind what our ancestors knew, that women supporting women is healing medicine. I wanted to create what I couldn't find, a community where your growth is celebrated, not questioned, where your authenticity is welcomed, not tolerated, where you can love your heritage and follow your heart, where you can honor your family and honor yourself. A place where women support each other in speaking their truth, even when their voice shakes. Where we hold space for the messy, beautiful process of becoming who we are meant to be. Because here's what I've learned and what research confirms. When women feel truly seen and supported in their authenticity, they don't just transform their own lives. They transform their families, their communities, their world. That ripple effect, it's real, it's measurable, and it's desperately needed in these times. I'll be honest, the Wellness Quest isn't for everyone. It's for the woman who feels that familiar tension, who loves her people, but she needs to find her own path, who's ready to stop performing and start becoming. It's for the curious soul who's been asking, what if there's more? And is finally ready to explore that question with women who get it. We dive deep here, we ask the questions that matter, we support each other through the uncomfortable spaces between who we've been and who we're becoming. We celebrate the courage it takes to live authentically, especially when it disappoints some people we love. If you've been feeling called to something deeper, if you're ready to explore who you are when you're not performing for anyone, if you're seeking sisterhood that honors both your heritage and your individual truth, you found your home. The Wellness Quest Sisterhood is where curious souls come to remember who they really are, where your becoming is celebrated, your questions are welcomed, and your authentic voice is not just heard, it's cherished. Because the world needs who you really are, and your journey to becoming her, you don't have to walk it alone.